Welcome to the boot camp. If you've found your way here, maybe you are ready to step it up to the next level. Also, I just want to say that maybe this is for a specific type of person. And if you're the kind of person who is really good at executing, right? You get something put in front of you and you just drill, and kick super butt, then this might be for you. Maybe you're not as good at figuring out a roadmap or envisioning exactly how things are going to fit together. But once you're put on that path, you just go. If that's you, then this might be an ideal situation for you. This is a group setting, but there's also going to be some individual feedback and hand holding to work you through the process from start to finish and get a real outcome, a real goal that you're going for, okay? So just so you know, if you've taken any of my membership courses, if you've taken any courses really where I do it this kind of presentation style here with the PowerPoint slides and all that, I usually have more of a written out script. I'm kind of going off script for the most part here on this one, so you'll forgive me if it seems a little off the cuff, but I really wanted to just talk and I wanted you to know what kind of person I am, because if you're going to get into one of these boot camps, you're going to end up working with me. So I want to make sure my true personality comes through on this. All right, so let's get started. I always love quotes to start things off. This is a great one. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Margaret Mead. And I'm not going to go off on a huge rant here or anything, but I think there is a large change that is occurring in the world, really, around education, around who works for what company, what the power of a corporation is, what we do with our daily lives now that computers are taking over more of the work, and you know where I'm going with this. So I think that there is a revolution that's happening in how the individual person goes and does their daily work. And if I can be even a really small part of that and help a group of people work through and find a new life where they don't feel chained to a desk and they don't feel miserable and they really get to follow a passion of their own, then I'm going to be super psyched if I just play a small role in that, okay? All right, so I'm just going to jump right into it because this is just, the page that's laying everything out there. If you're interested in my boot camp, you probably already used some of my products. I hope you're already a member of Start to Success. That's where kind of the self-study and the basic stuff goes on. If you're not, you can listen to the rest of this and maybe it is exactly what you're looking for. But if not, then I'm going to go ahead and downsell you because I want you to get what's best for you right now. And I'll just say I'll downsell you to the membership. Go check it out. It might be more of what you're looking for. All right, so first of all, the first thing you're going to get in this boot camp is to understand why you're doing this. And that's huge. I mean, just getting into the psychology of how a person does what they do and why they do what they do. I've studied a lot of this, and I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychiatrist, but honestly, I think the amount of level I go into to attacking your business for the right reasons, for your reasons, understanding what's driving you and how to leverage that to really do what's going to get you the best results is huge. I said here, $300 value. I think that's about an hour of a decent psychiatrist. Again, I'm not a psychiatrist, but I think that is probably understating the value that I can bring to you from just one book alone that I understand very thoroughly, Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. If you haven't read that yet, read it, but I have read that cover to cover multiple times, and it is powerful, and I can help you with that. I can help you understand why, or even if you're getting into this for the right reasons, okay? The next thing you're going to get is you're going to find your niche. This is huge. There are a lot of niches out there with 7 billion people on the planet. And first of all, it's essential that you pick one. You don't want to go selling to everybody because then everyone who listens to you doesn't know if you're talking to them. If you're here listening to me, it's probably not because I said I help people with business, right? I quit my job to help you quit yours. And I tell you, we start knowledge businesses. We take the knowledge already in our head to create content, find avid fans, and get them to create a community around it and sell them products around that. So it's very specific. I want people who are working a 9 to 5 and they don't really understand what it takes to run a business, but they really want to make that leap from employee to entrepreneur. And I help them. I give them a roadmap to take them step by step through that. And you should know if I'm talking to you. All right? So if you're considering this boot camp, then I think I know what kind of person you are, but I just want to make sure you're thinking about what kind of person you are. This is important. I think there's two kinds of people out there. There's one person who's really timid and thinks doing something like this would be great, all the stuff I'm talking about. But they're never going to do anything. They're never going to act. They just keep scratching their head and wondering why nothing's changing. And to be honest, these people are never successful. They never get what they want. The other person, I hope, and if you're still listening, I'm pretty sure I'm talking to you. The other person is like us. They learn stuff, they implement, they get better, and they do get what they want in life. So if you're the first person and you're just here to be entertained, you may be out of luck. I don't want to make you feel bad, but the community I'm trying to build is for people who know what they want and take action. Because those are the people that I want to work with, and we end up doing great things together for years to come. So if you're like this other guy, then let's start making our lives better by taking action and making things happen. Okay? Okay, here's the next thing you're going to get in this boot camp. Understand your products. This is important. There's a lot of different formats we can put our products into, and I'll go ahead and give you a freebie right here. But in reality, you can create content that then can become all different kinds of products, be it text, audio, video, different formats of these. There's all kinds of ways to market and format your stuff. So you're going to learn about what's important, how to get that content, how to create it, how to pull it out of your head, and then how to put it in a format that just sells itself, basically. All right, the next thing, write your bestseller book. This might look like a high value to you. It's not, okay? I took a course that cost at least this much, and it was a self-study, learn how to write a bestseller book. And I will tell you, it was worth it. Every penny. In fact, you know what? Anytime I invest in any course where it's teaching me something, it's worth it. You have this disposable income and you spend it on stuff. Why not invest in yourself, right? So I have never been upset about buying something. I'm always super psyched about what I've learned. I start implementing it and I start seeing return. I start seeing results, right? So if you're that kind of person who thinks everything is a scam, which again, I'm sure you're not if you're still listening and if you're hopefully in my membership and all that, but totally get out of that mindset. Even if you have a tiny bit of that hiding in a crevice in your brain, get rid of it because it's not going to serve you in life. All right? I'm not saying being a pessimist can't be helpful sometimes. Being careful, hedging your risks, all these things are great, but don't be one of those just naysayers, right? Okay, I always want to hit this because I am human. We're all human, okay? And the difference between me and you, I believe, is that the stuff we're going over here, the subject matter we're talking about, I've done a lot of trial and error around it. And like I just alluded to, I've taken tons of courses. I've spent tons of money, tons of years of my life learning all this stuff. And I've finally been able to package it into a way that makes sense for somebody to step into it and go from start to finish on a roadmap into creating a business that is going to be able to create income and a better lifestyle for years to come, hopefully for the rest of your life. So I did all that hard work, and I'm not saying there isn't hard work ahead of you, but you can take the shortcut. And I learned this is what I've done with multiple courses. I've learned things much quicker than I would have through trial and error. But a lot of this stuff I had to do on my own. So I want to cut that down for you. I want you to be able to take the shortcut and get stuff moving quicker. All right. The next thing you're going to learn how to do is more specific to a product. How do you put on your perfect webinar? This is easily a $500 value. These are just like the book. A webinar is a way to get traffic and also to convert it. And once you get your products that you're going to be able to sell, a webinar, if done right, can just move so much product out the door. So learning how to do that in the proper way and lead the person watching it through a proper emotional, not a roller coaster, what am I going for? Just emotional stages where they're interested, then they're learning, then they see the value you're already giving to them, then they understand that what the product you have to sell is going to be worth way more than what you're selling it for, and they become a customer. That is super, super powerful. Lay your foundation. This is what I talk about when I'm saying how do you actually get your physical presence. It's actually, I shouldn't use the word physical because it's not literally a physical presence. Online, you need a website, you need marketing funnels, you need to be able to advertise, you need to be able to be seen. How do you get that stuff in place so that it looks professional, but professional for your market? Depending on what you're teaching, who your audience is, there may be a different definition, right? A surfer dude is going to have a different definition than a CPA. So how do you set that up in the right way that the customers feel at home and they feel like they're in the right place? Now, you can spend $1,000 on a web designer in about a week. So trust me that what I'm going to show you how to do is worth way more than that. You're going to have two choices. You're going to have a decision to make. You can either invest in yourself, get your butt in action, and start building this business. And in 60 days, your life will be in the direction you want. This is the decision you're about to have to make. Or you can go back to exactly what you're doing yesterday. And I'm guessing you don't want that, or you wouldn't be watching this video in the first place. I don't know about you, but that second option never makes me happy. Okay, so as we get closer to the end here, consider that. Think about your two choices. Do you want to go with what you already know, what's comfortable, or do you want to take a calculated risk, invest in yourself, stretch your comfort zone a little bit, and like Robert Frost says, I love that poem, "The Road Not Taken," right? He said he took the road less traveled, and it has made all the difference in his life. Don't settle for the status quo. That's not what we're here for. We're here to challenge the status quo and demand something different of our lives. The next item you're going to get is some education on email marketing. This is what I talk about reaching out to your what's called warm traffic. The biggest, probably the most valuable thing in your business is going to be your email list. This might sound a little old school, but it's not. Trust me. Email is still in. And if you're building a list of people who you already know are interested in you and your products, then in a good way, it's almost like shooting fish in a barrel to sell to them. They want to hear from you. They want to know what you're coming out with next. They want to buy your next product. And so learning how to market to those people properly, to step them up to the next level, to give them even more value, that is incredibly valuable. Okay, and let's look at the cold traffic. How do you get cold traffic? Again, the value on this comes from a self-study course that I took, and I've also worked more with individuals on this doing actual Facebook marketing. But right now, Facebook is where business is at. And there's all kinds of other stuff coming out all the time. So these specific tactics, I call them, when it's not so much of a strategy, an overall business plan, but these tactics, like how do I market on Facebook? It's very valuable, but these things can change. And that's also why being a member of a community that's keeping up on the cutting edge of this stuff is so important. But Facebook marketing right now is incredibly powerful. You can target individuals based on so many different criteria, and you can find people who are interested in your stuff. Okay? Like I said, I've educated myself a lot on this and spent thousands of dollars on marketing, and I understand what works and what doesn't. So the value I'm going to bring to you there is huge. Okay, so you add all this up, the total value is $6,600. And I have a question to ask you. If all this membership did for you was give you a second source of income in the 60 days of this boot camp, would it be worth it to you? You know, Warren Buffett says, the more you learn, the more you earn. First of all, I'm sure you've heard that one. But if you were to give advice to the average person, the number one thing he would say, financially of course, is to not rely on a single source of income. And that is the biggest weakness that the average employee has. Completely dependent on his or her employer. And what if he were to get axed? What if he were to be fired the next day? And you might say, oh, that's not me. It's not going to happen to me. And maybe you're right. Maybe you're an amazing performer. But we don't know what the future holds. And to put our livelihood in someone else's hands is just not something I want to do. So getting this second stream of income going, how valuable would that be? And then you can just start growing it bit by bit, right? And what about that day that it completely replaces your employment income? That would be a fun day, I think. Okay, let's look at some more of these questions. What about something that's less, I don't know, less tangible? What about being a best-selling author? I know how to do that. If you're a best-selling author in any field, you can find ways to make money with that. Trust me. You could do a book tour. Does that sound like fun? Do you like getting up on stage and talking? You could get high-ticket clients that way. Think about how valuable that would be. Or maybe you're someone who's seen tons of this stuff online. You've been interested in starting your own business for a while. Maybe you've even dabbled in it. Maybe you've started a little business on the side. But you've never taken the leap and really followed through. So what if all this did was give you the kick in the butt you need to finally make a change? Being involved in something like this gives regular and serious motivation to implement the stuff you're learning. Okay? You see what I'm saying here? I mean, what if all this bootcamp did was introduce you to like-minded individuals who don't settle for the status quo, who want a better life, one with more impact, freedom and fun? How much could you do together? How much would that really be worth? Seriously, guys, just think about this. When you're 80 years old and you're looking back at your life and all the thousands of dollars you spent on your commute, on toys and coffee and other stuff that just went away, when it comes to coffee, literally pissed away. Don't get me wrong, I drink a lot of coffee. I like coffee. But yeah, it goes away. Looking back, do you think you would wish you'd invested in yourself, done something new, and had a real experience for building a better future? I hope so. Okay, so obviously I'm not charging $6,600 for this boot camp. But I honestly hope you can see that if you take it seriously and are willing to put in the hard work required to succeed, it's worth at least that much. That is an understatement. But here's the sweet part. You don't even have to make that decision today. All you have to do is hit the button below and apply. If you look like a good fit for our next boot camp, then we'll take it from there. You don't need to overthink this. I don't even want to confuse you with price and all that stuff. Can I afford it? Oh my God, do I worry? Should I really apply? Just put that out of your mind. I'll just promise you that it is much less than $6,600, okay? Right now, just ask yourself, is 2 minutes of my time worth the potential of all the stuff that we just went over? Like I always tell people, options are good. Now, studies have shown that too many options are bad because people get what's called over-analysis paralysis. But in general, having options to do A or B is a good thing. So why not open up a potential option to yourself by applying? Doesn't sound so bad, right? Okay, guys, that's it. I'll end this with a warning. Old habits die hard. You've probably thought about running your own business or trying to invest in something to better yourself before, and you get all excited and figure you'll think about it, and then what happens? Nothing, right? You mold it over and now it's gone. You'll go back to your office tomorrow. Everything will be the same. The only way you'll be successful is if we break that habit. I talk about this with multiple things. We have to break that habit right now. And we're going to do that. We're going to disrupt your norm by you applying and getting this ball rolling. Invest 2 minutes in yourself and your future right now so you can get the tools to break that habit and have what you need to succeed. Does that sound good? Okay, I really look forward to speaking with each and every one of you. So apply right now, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.